Alright, I'm gonna assume that we're good to go. Alright, so Mohawk and Headphone Jack. This is a pretty incredible game. This is one of a kind, thankfully. So the story about this game is that Mohawk is of the species of morphs, and the morphs have a party lifestyle. They like to jam out to music. They don't really do anything. They just kind of sit around and jam out. And one day, General Headslot came to their planet and took all their music. So it's up to Mohawk to travel through outer space and whatnot to a whole bunch of distant worlds to recollect all of the music for their planet so that they can resume their normal funky way of life. Yeah, it. So we travel to 7 different worlds in this game and collect all these CDs. And the little CDs really don't do anything. The CDs are just like, if you collect enough of them, then the exit to the stage opens up. And the amount of CDs that you need in each stage varies. And then there are big CDs, which actually change the game audio. So the stages in this game actually don't have stage themes. It's just like the big CDs that you collect are the stage themes, and you can change them at any point. If you pause, then it like brings up a radio, like a stereo or radio interface, and you get to like insert whatever big CDs you collected. You can change the music, change the volume, all that stuff. It's pretty neat. So the game is 7 pairs of levels, 7 different worlds, and the second of each level, or second of each pair rather, is a boss fight. So, for instance, in the first world, this is a space station, technically. And this is the second level, so this is our first boss fight, who is the Walmart mascot. In boss levels, you actually don't need to collect any CDs. If you collect 100 CDs, it's 100 for every boss stage. If you collect 100 CDs, then the game will put an X on the map and tell you, hey, the boss is over there, you should go there. But you actually don't need 100 CDs in boss levels. Like, if you know where the boss is, you can just go directly there, and then the game's like, oh, you found the boss. You must have enough CDs. Alright, here he is. And then the exit vortex is just linked to the boss dying. So, I don't have to collect any CDs there, and in fact I don't want to, because collecting CDs is going to cost me some frames on the score tally thing. So, this is World 2. This is the jungle. The jungle is a pretty scary place. Ooh. Sick. This is the first time in the run. I could get power-ups earlier, but this is the first time in the run you see these transformation power-ups. If Mohawk runs over the transformation icon thingy, then he'll transform into whatever that thing is. So, for instance, I ran over a Mohawk with a wheel, and that gave me the wheel power-up. The wheel power-up just makes you run faster and jump higher. This is the Birdman power-up. Allows you to fly, obviously. And all the power-ups just last for a limited amount of time, and then you transform back just like that. So, in this route, I have to kind of manage what power-ups I take in what places. Like, you might think it would be best to collect the wheel all the time whenever it's available, because you move faster. But the issue is that I'm gonna hit this checkpoint, actually. Those yellow balls are checkpoints for a reason that you'll probably see soon. There's a good chance that I'll die with this next jump. Yep. Yeah, sometimes you get different momentum there, which is unfortunate. It's not a big deal, though. We'll be okay. I want to point out that I do not have control of the gravity. Which direction? Down here. The gravity just like... Okay, just barely made it. You're not supposed to actually go that way with the jump, you're supposed to fly to it, which is why that jump is tricky. I'm not like manually switching gravity or anything like that. This game has a different gravity vector for every single tile in the entire game. And it's a grand total of something like 1.6 to 2 million different gravity vectors. It's an absolute programming marvel. Say what you will about the game, but the programming in it is astonishing. So in most cases you don't want to get the wheel because when you jump with the wheel you'll jump higher and you'll end up pulling yourself into a gravity field that you don't want to be to. So, that was World 2 Stage 1. You need 200 CDs for that stage. I ended with 201, so that was pretty good. This is the second stage of the jungle, so if you've been paying attention, you know that I don't actually need to collect CDs here. I know where the boss is because I've played this game before, so we're gonna go pay him a visit and kill him. Alright. So the maps in this game are not small. The maps, each level is about as large as the entirety of Super Metroid. Like, these maps are enormous. And it's nothing short of a miracle that they actually managed to get so much data, so much information in a small cartridge. Okay. Alright, so I should mention that this rolling ball thingy is the only way that you can attack in this game besides using the big explosion attack. When you're a ball, you can't collect anything, so I use that to roll through CDs and stuff that I don't want. You can also roll through checkpoints, you can roll through any upgrades that you don't want. So it's pretty handy. So this is the second boss, this is the Tiki. This is the attack you want him to do. So you can use 3 different attacks. You can use a... nice, this is pretty much perfect. This is the attack you want. Wow, that luck, holy smokes. So he can use that attack where he like flies around dropping the sparkle things, and you can break throws with the spiky ball rolly attack, and then he can stand in place and fire either the sparkly balls or these homing sparkly balls, and you can only break one of them. So if he shoots the extra sparkly big homing balls, then we can't actually hit him. It's just kind of lost time. Alright, so you might be thinking, well geez, we already had a space station, we had a jungle. What could they possibly throw next? Alright, so this is our water level. And water stages with changing gravity are pretty incredible. Yeah, geez, I don't even remember how many CDs we need here. I remember the route, I don't remember the number. It might be, it's either 250 or 300. We need a heck of a lot of CDs. And we can't actually avoid the water. We want to avoid the water as much as we can because the water is problems, but... Okay, good jump. But we do have to swim, so you'll see that.
I had a quick question from the chat, man. Somebody asked if the devs sent you the source code for this game?
Yes, I do actually have the source code for this. Yeah, I got in contact with the game developer, D. Scott Williamson, and like just sent him an honest message and was like, hey, I love your game, this game is pretty sweet, it's pretty amazing you were able to get this to run on a Super Nintendo. Anyways, that's it, bye. And he responded and was like, wow, I've never actually gotten such good feedback before. That's amazing. No one ever told me that they liked this game. The reviewers were not so kind back then. So we chatted a bit more, and I asked if he would sign my copy and all that stuff. So I mailed him my copy of the game, and he sent it back, autographed, and also included the source code in there. And that's how I was able to actually see all of the different gravity vectors. It's pretty astonishing. Like, there's so many of them everywhere. Alright.
That's my favorite animation in the game, by the way, is swimming.
Oh yeah, the swimming animation is something special. Alright, so first water level done. 122% CD collection. That is the minimum that you can clear the level with. Alright, so this, again, you might think that you've gotten into the swing of this. You know, that every other stage is a boss fight and I don't need to grab CDs. Easy peasy. We're gonna throw a little bit of a curveball into this. Some levels, you might notice that the category is any percent with warps. Some levels have warps. And you can probably guess... Oh, don't drown! Okay. You can probably guess that since these levels are so incredibly huge, being able to skip them is a good thing. And it is. But actually finding the warps is not trivial. So, in every stage, in addition to having the normal exit that will open up after you collect a certain number of CDs, every stage also has a bonus level that will open up. And then, the bonus level is like a purple vortex. You can see it in the very first stage, like... Alright, good, I got it. You can see it in the first stage. You collect like the first 3 CDs and the bonus vortex opens up immediately afterwards. So the bonus vortex is just like, I mean, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. You can go in there and get just a whole bunch of CDs, and in most stages it requires a significant number of CDs to open up a bonus vortex. So if it takes like 200 to open up the end of the level, it might take 400 to open up the bonus, and then the warp requires even more on top of that. So in this stage, the bonus vortex requires 300 CDs to open, and then I need 400 CDs, actually maybe 450 for the warp. But the warp will allow us to skip, let's see, 4 stages, I think? So we'll go from World 3, Stage 2, to World 5, Stage 2. So we skip all of World 4 in the first stage of World 5. So, even though this stage is going to be taking me several minutes longer than it would if I just killed the boss, we're going to be saving probably 10 minutes from the warp. It's a shame too, because the boss of World 3 is pretty hilarious. It's like this creepy looking octopus thing that has a gorilla's face. It is an incredible sprite. Absolutely incredible. Alright. So the power-up that you get in the water levels, you don't turn into a boat or anything fancy like that. You turn into the lagoon monster. It's pretty fitting for a game that I run. The lagoon monster lets you swim faster underwater, kind of, but more importantly, it just means that you won't drown. You can't run out of oxygen, which is good. That's what you want. But technically, if you can mash the swim button fast enough, then it's actually faster to not have the lagoon power up. But in that case, in most cases, I get it just to get rid of whatever power-up I had before. So wall clip here, I'm not sure if that's intended or not, and I get exactly 300 CDs before the bonus. Alright, so this is a bonus level. bonus levels are significantly harder to look at than the rest of the game, because you spin significantly faster. So I apologize, but we must do it. We must. The thing that makes the bonus levels tricky is that there's a number of exit portals in these. The game doesn't want you to just sit around here and recollect a whole bunch of CDs. It really doesn't. So as you collect CDs, the game will continuously spawn more and more exits. So it's really easy to just grab like 10 or 15 CDs and then get tricked into going into an exit. And in most cases, that means that you won't be able to actually open up the warp, because you won't be able to collect enough CDs. Like, there just simply aren't enough in the stage. But that was really good. We want to end around 414. 413 is definitely around 414, so we're good. And now it's time for some other mean tricks. First of all, trying to swim while gravity is changing is tough. And then there's some fake spikes there. Spikes will kill you in one hit, except those fake ones. Fake ones are fine. So we need 450 CDs for this warp. There we go, 450. Red portal means we skip 3 levels. And we're out of here. So, CD count, 274%, pretty great. This is this is World 5, the Guts. This is the intestines of a big monster. That's what this world is. The first stage of this world is one of it has the potential to be one of the most nauseating things you can possibly watch. There are platforms that do nothing but just spin you like crazy. They don't move, they just spin in place and get you really dizzy. But we don't have to play that stage, because we warped past it, so it's really good. You can thank me later. Or now. I mean, you can thank me now if you want. But this stage is pretty tough to actually get a firm grasp on. This entire stage is kind of, if you were to look at a zoomed out map, actually, I think no, we're still good. If you were to look at right here. A zoomed out map would show like one island in the very middle of the stage, and then just a bunch of branching paths that go out from there. And there's like probably, I think, 10 different branches going out from the center, and some of them have CDs and some of them don't. And it's super easy to get lost, because one wrong jump and you're gonna end up stuck to a ceiling somewhere that you don't want to be. So I have a really careful route designed to collect as many CDs as is profitable, and then enter the bonus stage. This is the only stage in the game where I actually don't have like a good feeling of where I am on the map. I just have a whole bunch of visual cues and know where to jump. So getting lost is a very real possibility here. I should also mention there are a few enemies that you can't actually kill with the rolling ball attack, like that thing. Those swinging tentacle things are indestructible by means of the ball attack, but you can kill them if you use the explosion thing. So if you look at the HUD here, in the bottom right, that I currently have 3 of, that circling yellow diamond, that is my health. Next to that is my number of lives. Killing those guys reduces lag, it's really important. And then bottom left, obviously the CD count. When it's blinking, it means you have enough CDs to clear the stage. And upper left, those rotating tiny curled up Mohawk things, those are the total number of explosion attacks that you have. The explosion attack you saw in the first boss, and then never again. The explosion attack just splits Mohawk into pieces and launches them around the screen. And it does damage to everything on the screen, I think 3 times. But it also kills those things, those tentacle monsters. It's the only way to kill them, so if I ever get stuck I can use that, but it's easier to just damage boost through them. Alright, so I need 400 CDs for the bonus level, and then I need 500 CDs for the warp. You can see that the CD count escalates pretty fiercely. Considering you only need 100 CDs if you don't know where the boss is to find where the boss is. So, this is the first time in this run that we get to see these tube thingies. Mohawk just kind of shoves himself in there and then follows the pipe. And some of these you can actually kind of steer. Like there are some forking paths and you can choose one of them. But in that one you are forced to go in that direction. There is gonna change the music. There is a level later on that I fortunately don't play that is nothing but pipe mazes and teleporters, and it is the most confusing thing. It's horrible. I believe that I think we have one more pipe to go through, and then that's it for the rest of the run. It's also interesting that one of the stages that I skip, the next stage actually, if I were to clear this stage normally, it would be the next stage. One of these pipe mazes has gravity fields that spiral as you go along a straight path, so the screen just spins for like 90 seconds. It's so mean. It's so mean. Alright, 346 CDs. I should be okay here. I think I'm gonna have exactly enough, or one more CD. I think there's 40 here and then 15. So the warp here actually does not skip 3 levels. This warp only skips, it skips World 6. It skips 2 levels. So I'll go from World 5, Stage 2, to World 7, Stage 1. I'm gonna go in here this way. There's a faster way to do it, but if I miss, I die, and it's almost unrecoverable. Alright. So this area is kind of tricky. This is where you can definitely get in big trouble with accidentally falling into exits, because there are almost no other CDs in the stage, and I need to get to 490 before I exit this. There are 10 CDs at the alright. There are 10 CDs when I exit that I can grab. Let's see where I want to do the jump. Right about here. Yeah, okay. I'm actually going to fly in a circle around this, 1 lap. To be a little bit safe. Don't want to go in that. Alright, I just need one more. Alright, we're good. I'll let this pull me in. If you're not holding right, then you die. This portal just spits you directly into the lava and you are killed. That's what the spinning platforms are. I could just stand on there and let you really just soak it in, but I'm not that mean. Alright, so here's the warp. There's 5. Boom.
Speaking of not being mean, chat is saying tornado mode or riot as bonus content.
Tornado mode or riot. Okay. I could do that. I could do that.
You asked for it, chat.
You asked for it, sorry.
This is your fault.
304%. This is World 7. This is like the sewer or something. I don't actually really know what it is, but it's here, so. I want to make a quick note that the reason that this warps category is so much faster than warpless, like my PB in this I think is a 2902 or something, and my warpless is a 4401, I think. It's definitely a 44, a low 44. Yeah, the reason for that is that World 6, Stage 1, is one of the longest stages I've ever seen in a game. And doing it with skips, with sequence breaks that I found, is it's about 9 minutes. Doing it the intended way would take at least double that. It is absolutely monstrous. So even though I had to collect 500 CDs instead of 0 in that stage, the previous stage that I played, it's still a heck of a lot faster than trying to play 6-1. That is a stage you do not want to play under any circumstance. Alright, so 7-1 is interesting. They have these gravity blocks that you have to turn off by turning these valves. And if you don't, you cannot get through certain parts of the stage. Unless you're Absurdity and manage to miracle your way directly straight through one of the walls. So I have to take this really roundabout path to get through the stage and open up these valves. That's the entire gimmick here. Alright, this is Blimp Power-Up. Blimp Power-Up is horrible. It controls like garbage. We don't want to use Blimp, but we absolutely have to. There's no way around it. Because there's a valve on the ceiling that I have to hit. And some CDs. Alright, so I'm going to be setting up for a damage boost here. And by damage boost, I mean death abuse. This stage has no checkpoints. When you die, you respawn at the beginning. And it's really, really convenient to just suicide and respawn at the beginning. And you can cut entire chunks of this stage out. So, we want to do that. Alright. So one thing that I thought was pretty interesting that I learned from talking to the developer is that the Super Nintendo was unable to handle this game the way that they wanted to. So he actually had to program his own compression and decompression algorithm to actually get this game to play. And if I remember right, he's made more money selling off that algorithm to other companies and other developers than he actually did from the profits of this game. But that's the only reason that this game is functional at all. Like, the quick teleports, it's like constantly reloading, unloading and reloading certain parts of the stage as it goes. And the teleports are not slow. So it really is a technical marvel. I believe the same algorithm is used in Bubsy as well, so you can thank him for that. Or not thank him. Alright, there's one such teleporter. Pretty incredible. Alright, so we're nearing the end of the stage, kind of. Like, this is pretty much the home stretch. We're going to be taking a warp once again. This warp, we're in World 7, Stage 1. This warp is only going to take us to the final boss. It's only going to skip the next stage. But this is one of the few stages in the game where the normal exit actually requires more CDs than the bonus. And I think it's only like 50 or something fewer than the warp. And the next stage is like 2 to 2.5 minutes of just straight pipe mazes. So it's a little bit faster to warp through it, warp through the next stage than to actually try and play it. It's definitely a lot easier to watch, that's for sure. Unfortunately, the warp, or the bonus stage here, is right before, or right after a big, like, fire switch maze, and the fastest way to get through it is a quintuple damage boost. So, you have to do 5 damage boosts in a row, and the last 3 of them have to be chained pretty much perfectly, or else you're going to die. I guess I'll point out, after this warp, I spawn at the beginning, and or after this this bonus stage, I spawn at the beginning, and the warp is right there. So, if I fail this damage boost, I'm actually just going to password to the next stage, because it is almost unrecoverable. Which is regrettable. It really is. I would like to show off this bonus stage, but recovering from that mistake is an extremely long endeavor, and it would just require me doing the same thing again anyways. Alright, so here we go. Oh, we did it! Okay. We just barely made it. Alright, so our reward is playing this thing. This bonus level is interesting, because we get the Birdman power-up inside it. Or we're supposed to, except it didn't spawn. Alright, let me try that jump again. Hopefully it'll be up there. Birdman? There we are. So now we have to fly through constantly changing gravity. This is a heck of a stage. You can get in these grooves where you control Mohawk really well, and if you fall out of these grooves, you're just in deep trouble. Alright. So I think we're already good here. I need, let me try and get to another place with more CDs. Alright, we'll exit. I need 450 CDs, and there's 50 by the warp, so we're okay. And it's a convenient place for Death Warp, so I die after leaving there, respawns me right at the beginning. And we just go through the floor and get a whole bunch of CDs right here. Alright, there's 450. And the warp should be right around this corner, right here. Boom! Alright, that was excellent. That was a really good stage. Okay, so it's time for the final boss. Final boss, you must be thinking, this has got to be a big, epic 381% CDs. Nice. Epic boss fight. Unfortunately, that's not the case. We are instead given a palette swap of the first boss. And that'll do it. And that's the end, 3251. Now, if you thought that Bubbleman stage was the king of destroying low bitrate, you have not seen the ending of this.
Here we go.
Congratulations for defeating General Headslot and saving the universe from impending doom. I know you're not going to be able to read the text, so I'm going to read it for you. Now that General Headslot is gone, everyone can resume their normal funky way of life. All seems well, but somewhere at a distant moon a bright light flashes and disappears, and a shadowy figure slips quietly into darkness. Alright, enough of the story already. Now it's time to heap well-deserved praise on you, the player who actually conquered this game. You are the 1 in 100 players who will beat General Headslot. Your extraordinary skills and lightning-fast reflexes helped you make it. But did you miss something? Try playing through and finding all the vortexes this time. Great, Jerb, and thanks for playing. You rule. So the second best thing about this is that this ending loops forever until you advance it. So we're what, 50 minutes ahead of schedule?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I guess we could just let this roll for 50 minutes then.
Yeah, I'll order a pizza.
It's
get some beers.
The other interesting thing about this ending is that oh geez, there's a whole bunch of interesting things here. In the source code, you're actually intended to be able to control the ending. You can control how fast it rotates, how much it rotates, you can control the palette, you can control everything in the ending. And then it's all commented out, so it's not actually in the final version, which is unfortunate.
I'm starting to see some sandstorms in the chat now. They're pretty insistent on tornado.
All right, I'll try tornado mode. It might be pretty hard to find that, but I'll try. The last thing is that in the ending it says, "Hey, you should go find the other vortexes. Get that best ending." Well, there actually is no best ending. I looked through the code and I actually found it, and it's just this huge wall of text with them laughing at you and being like, ha ha ha, they never thought that we could waste so much of one person's time, but we did it. We showed them all.
A bunch of dicks.
Yeah, it is incredible.
That's
all right.
Amazing.
So, password. We're gonna teleport to 5-1. This is one of the stages that we skipped. 97685 code accepted. Oh, actually, you know what I could do? Let's see, where's the debug? This'll speed things up significantly. This is the debug code. I also have all the passwords in the game, which is pretty neat. The debug code allows me to just place Mohawk anywhere I want. So I guess I'll show you what the actual map looks. I can show you all kinds of goodies here. So this is the pause screen. If you have other tracks, then you can cycle through them here where it says Voodoo Puppets track 1. There's something like, I think there's 18 normal tracks. There's track 1, 2, and 3 for 6 different bands. And then there's all of the boss music that you get after you kill bosses. So you could cycle through it here if you wanted to. And, of course, like any good radio, the volume goes to 11. Alright, so this is the map. This is what the map looks like. And I'm just gonna scroll. I'm gonna scroll to the end in one direction. Alright, there's one direction. And now we'll go the other way so you can see the full extent of this. And the map is also extremely zoomed out right now. Like you see how big Mohawk is when you zoom out. It's pretty tiny. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and move Mohawk to Tornado Room. You guys asked for this. I don't know why. Here, I'm just gonna, since I can pan around right now, I'll just show you. This is what the room is. 3 spinning platforms wide, and like I don't even know how many this is high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 high. So the gravity doesn't follow the wall here. I guess I can place Mohawk and show you. You can't run up this wall. Like if you're running here, you're like, oh, those suckers think I'm gonna use those, so they got another thing coming to them. I'll just use the wall. Oh shit. So yeah, you've got to use these if you fall here. There's nowhere else to go, except down. Like those arrows in the background, they do not want you here. So if you want to reach this upper area, you have to use the spinny platforms. So here they go. And what you want to do is like stay near the wall so that you know what direction is up. If you're in the center, God help you, because there's just no way. But unfortunately for us, we're gonna have to go to the center at some point. Or are we? No, we're not. Oh wow. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. I think there's a secret in here, and you can turn into a blimp and all that stuff. So that's neat. There you go. Tornado room. There's one last thing that I'll show you. And that's the, not the super secret ending, but this is a secret ending. If you beat the final boss with one of the God mode passwords, the master unlock password, you get a special ending. Oh, this game also has a whole bunch of like secret passwords and whatnot. 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 9. Yes, that is pi. Okay. 6
Look
7
that it confirms that it's pi.
0 6 2 8. And now password to the final boss. I'm not gonna make you sit through another run just to see this. I'll just go right to the boss. 1 3 3. All right. So, God password, you know, you can't take damage, max infinite lives and health and all that. It also unlocks all of the music, so you can see some cool stuff. Atomic ray gun. All the bosses. There's Orbitron. That's my favorite name. I like Orbitron. He's a good guy. Alright, let's crank the music, kill the boss, and then you'll get the ending. Alright, are you prepared? The two-player mode is alternating. It's not simultaneous, unfortunately.
Thank God for that.
You cheated! Ha 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 ha. Yeah, this game is pretty great. I think on the cutting room floor, where they like show a whole bunch of like the privacy protection stuff for certain games, the privacy protection or copyright whatever protection for this, the ending just says you are a bad person. It is amazing.
With the regular ending, if you're a streamer of this game.
Oh man! All right. Well, that's all I can subject you guys to. Hope you somehow enjoyed. I think coming up next we have Jaguar King Block. Is that right?
That is correct. Ninja Warriors and Incredible Hulk.
That's right.
Back to back. Well, thanks for being on, BJ. We appreciate you, man.
Oh, my pleasure. Always happy to subject more people to Mohawk. Spread the good word.
Well, we wouldn't want to deprive you of the opportunity, of course.
Show off Squid Boss? I could. No, we'll move on. We will move on. I could spend all day showing off the stupid things in this game. There is no. There's too many. All right, cool.
Indeed.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks very
Enjoy
much,
the rest
BJ.
of the marathon.
Take care, man.